Hi, I'm Kate. This is my sweetheart, Paul. We are the founders of Rustica Hardware. Welcome to Installing Inspiration.
We're going to show you how to live in art and live inspired. Let's go.
Let's go.
Today on Installing Inspiration, we get to install a Rustica mantle. Now these mantles come in many different beautiful designer finishes and textures. You can see some of the examples here. We can also build these to order. We have a spot up in the offices where we get to install one of these beautiful pieces of functional art. I want to show you just how easy that is to do. Let's go. Okay, so this is where we're going to be installing our mantle. So let's take a look at the pieces that we have here. This is the cleat, and that's what's going to get installed to the studs on the wall. And then we have our mantle. That'll get installed and hooked over the cleat. And we have a packet of hardware and some instructions. So to get started, we will have to find our studs and then mount the cleat to the studs. And I've got an easy trick on how to find your studs. So I don't know about you, but I have spent hundreds of dollars on stud finders that never work. So I have found a $5 solution that always finds my studs. It's a magnet. So all you do is you put that magnet on the wall and you just work it across until, oh, there it is, it sticks. So what the magnet is doing is sticking to the drywall screw. And so I know for sure there's a stud right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that. And then find my next stud. It's right there. Okay, so now that we've found our studs with our cool little magnet stud finder, we're going to identify where we want the top of this mantle to be. So if I grab my cleat, you'll notice that it has an angle on it, and the top of the angle I want to be facing out, and then the bottom of that angle I want it up against the wall. So I'm just going to take this and kind of figure out how high I want the top of the mantle. The top of the cleat is going to be about 3/4 of an inch lower than the top of the mantle, just for your reference. In this case, I want it right here. So I'm just going to hold the cleat up against the wall and grab a level so that I can mark a level line. Okay, there's my level. And now I'm just going to mark on the bottom of the cleat some indicator marks so that I know this is where my mantle will be level. Okay, now that I've leveled my cleat, I'm just going to reference the marks of where the studs are and then mark those on the cleat. So I can see there's a mark there. I'm just gonna draw right on the cleat and line those up. Okay, now I can take my drill and drill a countersink hole or a pilot hole. This pilot hole will just help me to get the screw through the cleat and then into the stud. Now I'll take a Phillips bit on my drill and the provided screws. I think these are 2.5 inch screws, and I'm just going to need 3 of these. What I like to do is just turn these in a couple turns into the pilot hole. And then remember to orient the top of the angle outside and up. And now I'm going to align that with my level marks. So we've got our cleat mounted to the studs, and that's the ideal situation. I do want to point out that the hardware kit does include drywall anchors, just in case you're not able to hit a stud on one side of the cleat or another. You can hang the cleat from these drywall anchors. So now we're ready to hook the mantle onto the cleat. So what we have here, on the inside of the mantle, we have an opposing cleat with that angle on it as well. And we will just take the mantle and hook it over the top of the cleat. At this point, it's secure. However, we do provide some screws that go down through the top of the mantle and into the cleat to prevent it from getting bumped and off of the cleat. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in. And we're done. We've designed these things to be durable, beautiful, and very easy to install. And just like that, we've installed some more inspiration.